How's it going, everybody, and welcome to a showcase of the new 8.1 update for the XtraCards mod. This patch may not have a lot of content added into it, however, whatever lies ahead in the mod can put a big change in play. Featuring visual updates for commonly used towers in vanilla game to spice their drip in the battlefield, improved effects on a couple of powers, little text fixes, balance changes, and removing a card from the game? With that being said, let's get into it. First off, let's address the elephant in the room. Kidnap. Apparently, this information flew out of my radar for the past year. However, I've received a month-old word from an outside source. Apparently was grinding for either prestige or clan keys in high-stake card arenas. And the issue with Kidnap was it doesn't work as intended, leaving your side of the screen with a total messy mayhem over on your opponent's side. Some say it was the sync problem, however, as further evidenced, the issue is more severe. The Kidnap looks like it works on your side. However, your opponent's side remains unchanged, leaving you with a waste of $1,000 over nothing happening at all, and praying they leak from either a misplay, an overwhelming rush, or connection issues. So, to prevent any further mishaps on this mod, the Kidnap, as stated earlier, will be removed from the mod, at least until Ninja QA tries to find a way to fix this year-long issue. Spoiler alert, as much as I would love to have them solve this, I bet they won't do jack shit! Fortunately, to not leave any kind of offense negated, a new power card will be taking over Kidnap in its stead. Sabotage Power Knockout. Both of these powers roles are similar in one way, however, using Knockout will give your opponent two choices, whether to sell the tower that has been stunned but lose 20% of their total spent cash on said card, or keep it for a later, stickier situation later on. On top, Knockout has been banned from your powers loadouts in card battles games due to its inclusion as a permanent power card with infinite uses but at a small cost. And with that big thing out of the way, on to the next changes. Monkey subs upgraded to Ballistic Missile and First Strike, as well as apprentices with Tier 1 and 2 upgrades, received a few cosmetic do-overs for a clear understanding. No more unnecessary binoculars on ballistic barbed darts, and colored hats inspired from the BTD 6 structure for both sub and apprentice. Every card battles exclusive tower as well as token cards now have added descriptions on what each tower or token does specifically. Similar to how you would check a power card, you can click on any of the aforementioned cards with the question mark to reveal the hidden texts. Speaking of powers, Camo Shred received a little sonar effect while you use the power. All soil powers, Fertile Soil, Better Soil, and Dual Eco Boost get a fancy new effect when you use them with banana farms, and Shield does this whenever a balloon hits it. Temple's Miscellaneous Sacrifice received some BT5 Flash Love. Regular and Halloween Spiked Mine Skulls no longer glow golden for some reason, and the Hand Cannoneer got a little more techno boom on its approach. Upcoming are the balance changes made to this mod update. Big disclosure, this round of balance has been mostly focused on the card battle side of things, with over 100 cards touched in many categories: tower cost, balloon cost, tower tier, round unlocks, income change, balloon count, and so on. And a tiny little rework, if you can call that. However, there are also some assault changes made that will surely impact card battles games as well, so we'll first start with those. Since the Sniper's supply drop ability now starts on cooldown in this mod with a stale amount of cash gained per trigger, and an old village nerf made in vanilla, I felt that supply drop could use a tiny decrease on total cooldown time to get more crates over a match, depending on how long said match takes. Banana farms overclocked by the engineer will no longer spew twice as many bananas. However, it doubles the cash gain per farm output to reduce overflowing the screen with the good old SGB Republic spam. The last rework I made on the Plutonium reactor felt a bit too harsh towards its DPS against regular balloons without the use of pop boost. Raising the Pierce value by triple should bring some of its old oomph back on track. Super Monkey's Sun God upgrade got a small cost decrease due to a mathematical inconsistency, making this mod's Assault VX Super Monkey cost as much as it does in vanilla battles. A small issue with Temple's tier 3 to 5 glue sacrifices has been solved. Now every Moab class Bloon shall fear the slowdown of the Temple glue late game. Additionally, the Temple's max sacrifice on the ice category has needed a much desired buff as it currently does nothing for the late game part. First off, its freeze radius was horrifically small, only affecting a tiny radius of just normal balloons. These new values should give it its more needed attention to make it worth a 30,000 cash sacrifice. The freeze aura now also applies a 25% slow on all Moab class balloons caught within freeze radius for 0.25 seconds. It may not be worth much, but most of the time you will fill the area with as many clumped up temples as possible, and most of the time have ice monkeys sacrificed to them, making the slow more potent in the late game. These following powers also received buffs. The glue storm now affects all Moab class balloons in the screen for the duration, so you gotta think twice before using them this early, as well as cash injection no longer caps at 1,000 when you use them, meaning it's got a little more value at rounds 21 plus. Now onto the card battle side of balance changes, with these following towers having a better spotlight than others. In vanilla card battles, the Tack Sprayer's cost was really good. However, here it didn't really need much a cost decrease. The 3-2 card was also affected by this. The 2-3 Blade Shooter cost just as much as a 3-2 Tack Sprayer as of one update, so it makes sense to make them both equal value for now. Blade Sprayers also feel a lot powerful due to the slight Tack Sprayer speed increase, so it made sense to rate its cost a bit. The Ring of Fire's base Pierce change is too strong for such costs, so nerfing the 4042 costs was a good choice to bring it more to standards. The 4-3 Tack Shooter has way too much value for this old cost, almost triple attack speed at best compared to a 4-2. Bumping its cost as well as the 4-4's cost to these values will give it a more understanding to how strong this tower is, making it hard to afford such defense. The DPS value of supply drop snipers is already making an impact in today's standards, thus the 2-4 card gets a cost increase to further solve such damage, output and cash gain. Other low-tier sniper cards received cost nerfs since their early game felt too strong to spam at these low costs. The Cripple Moab card received a tiny cost buff comparable to recent left pass sniper buffs in assault games. A few cost nerfs to some of the boomerang cards except for the 1-1 variant. The 0-1 boomerang monkey felt like a wasted space for a card, so it has instead been reworked to a 2-0 boomerang to give it more of a use in games. The 4-4 Boomer's Bloon Scent unlocks much earlier, so you're welcome for that. The 0-0 Ice Monkeys also felt redundant, just like the 0-1 Boomer, so it instead turned into a 1-1 Ice Monkeys to fulfill its early stall game more. All of the shown Glue Gunner cards received cost nerfs due to their recent Moab's low capability and overall performance. Luckily, you need one less round to send the blue contains of the 3-2 Glue Gunner. Buccaneer cards also feel a little underpriced for their efficiency, especially the X4 Monkey Pirates. They felt too cheap as a full-on Moab removal, so their prices got bumped too close or even equal to vanilla values. Luckily, the 4-0 Buccaneers Bloon Scent costs less, further value for money. Many apprentice cards felt underpriced for their skills in the game. Some small bump ups in price will keep them in check. The 4-2 Apprentice's Bloon Scent felt too costly and didn't affect income at all. Now its cost has been cut down by a lot, however, it now loses you income. You gotta get that Monkey Town next time you plan on sending this. The infamous 2-3 Mortar card finally got a nerf to its income gain to bring it closer to its similar 2-3 Boomerang Bloon counterpart, while high-class Mortar cards got slight price drops for better use in the mid-game portion. The 4-4 Mortar card wasn't so lucky though, as its Bloon side got hit hard, although it may be a good thing, meaning more balloons sent more often due to a smaller amount of balloons present. The 0-4 Hand Cannoneer needed a little more oomph since the last big rework, so making it a 2-4 was a choice well made. The 4-4 Hand Cannoneer was meant to be more of a late game choice, thus it got a big price buff. While the adaptive passive works on anything ceramics and higher, the counterpoint is later rounds bring more of these balloons around, maximizing its DPS output since the ability no longer buffs itself. The 3-0, 3-2, and 4-1 Pirate Crew Monkeys got cheaper to utilize more of their end-of-round cash functions, while the Bloon Scents of the 2-2, 3-2, and 3-3 Pirate Crew cards are more clumped together for a harder time on the other side. The Tier 4 Druid also got a small cash drop just in case you don't run any farm strategies in your deck. All of the Monkey Farmer cards got big price changes to avoid spamming them as sub-intel range or sentry spawn manipulation. Heads up, it is deadlier if you run out of farmers in your inventory, because fun fact, playing a Monkey or Robo Farmer card takes one away from your total inventory, meaning these farmers will cost money eventually. Power cards were also touched in this patch. Purge and Beefy Moabs cost less now, and Orbital Strike does more damage to Moab class Bloons, albeit slightly. Chain Lightning got a slight price nerf to bring it more to vanilla. Thank you guys so much for watching this showcase video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you wish to download this mod, there will be a Discord link below to where you can play with mods and talk with the community alike. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, peace!